Hello and welcome to Campus Dialogue on Sustainability Initiatives in the Hospitality and Tourism Industry. I'm your host, Kamila Bhatti, a student of Hospitality Management in Nest Academy, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. So, today we will be discussing the most pressing issue of our times, sustainability in hospitality industry. As a future leader and as a student, it is very important for us to know that what impact our industry has on the sustainable living. For that purpose, I'm very passionate to know about the ways and practices that we can bring in hospitality industry to make it more sustainable. So sir, please let me have the honor to introduce you. So Mr. Peter is a hospitality expert with over 10 years of experience, which includes 5 years of experience as a restaurant manager in Dubai. He has been teaching at Nest Academy for over 2.5 years, where he has been guiding and mentoring the students about different subjects which include FBO, FPS, FBM, and F&B practicals. What's more, he brings a unique perspective to the industry, having graduated in business management for a multinational corporation. With his wealth of experience and knowledge, he has truly made his mark in the hospitality sector, and I'm excited to learn from him today. So, without any further delay, let's get a view of Mr. Peter regarding sustainability initiatives.
Thank you, Camila, for the word and very nice introduction to me. Right, so I'm going to speak about sustainability that you already mentioned. Before we start, even we know how important it is to raise the awareness of sustainability of this our lovely planet, which is or should be the common goal of all of us living here. So sustainability, regardless if it's a hospitality sector or is it any other industry, it's very important that all of them should tend to achieve the same goal as all of us want.
Exactly.
To keep the planet clean and to try to sustain in this world as long as possible.
Yes. So for my first question of this show, I want to ask, how can hospitality brands engage with different stakeholders like guests, suppliers, academic institutions, and community at large scale to achieve sustainability goals?
So speaking of hospitality brands or hospitality establishment overall, as many as they are, right, as we know that it's developing rapidly in the past decades, they can implement various strategies if they want to put to minds, right, of different stakeholders what they should do to contribute in achieving the same goal of sustainability. So speaking with about the guests, right,
yeah.
So I would rather go with either informing the guest or trying to shortly brief or educate the guest what they should do and then just to understand the importance of it. So for example, if you're a guest, I will go for a hotel, for example, right? So if you're a guest, you will go to the hotel and rent a room for some time, let's say, of staying. So you will definitely use that room and towels and other linen maybe that you definitely reuse those after showering, so not just putting one wash after only one shower, etc.
Yeah.
So this would definitely reduce water consumption and then at the same time reducing the emission of carbon dioxide. Then also what they should do is to have that habit to switch off the lights when they leave the room or to switch the air conditioning or heating.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we prevent for the same reason, our goal to reduce the emission of carbon dioxide, right? Speaking of suppliers, I would say definitely something that is already happening, and then I'm very happy to know that is that more and more hospitality establishments request from suppliers to deliver goods, whatever they order, products, in environmentally friendly packaging, or maybe something which is possible to dispose and recycle later. And then also even the products, right? I'm not talking about the food, but for example, furniture or whatever they order from consumables, they can use to be made from economical, right?
Exactly.
Material that can be degraded later.
So from this question, we got to know that it's important for us to educate guests
Definitely.
that will help in the sustainability.
Yes, and I would just like to add, because you asked me, it was guests, it was for suppliers. What was
and
the
academic institutions.
Academic institutions, definitely. This is really an important point, because the academic institution should share the awareness with young professionals, right, like students that are going hopefully one day to become successful employees and managers of those hospitality establishments, just to build that self-awareness in the very beginning, so they can just start applying and then to achieve the sustainability goals in the future. And the last one was the community in general.
Yeah.
I would definitely go for supporting the local sustainability events. Like, probably you are aware, and then speaking even in the UAE, that there's a lot of initiatives to clean the desert, for example, to go and clean the sea, or maybe in other countries, forests, etc. So I would say hotels should also participate there, because this is a very nice sign that they can also promote sustainability, even advertise sustainability, and then use some of their staff members as well to participate in these country common goals.
So these are some of the good initiatives that we can take to help sustainability. And for you is like, how can regulatory bodies work with hospitality brands to ensure sustainability initiatives like reduction of carbon footprints and emissions, considering the large picture?
So, as per my opinion, I think that the country itself, right, every single country and the regulatory bodies should do the same they do with any other segment when they want to make someone respect the rules, right, and do certain that can achieve the common goal. And those are the set of rules, of standards that they can set for the hospitality establishments as well, hospitality industry. I can give an example to that is to do a set of standards that there must be a requirement to use the energy efficient equipment, like in the kitchen, for example, kitchen appliances, so we can reduce the energy use and then again the carbon emissions, or to use the reusable sources of energy. So those can be some of the standards that they can set to make them again achieve the goal that we are talking, and it's the topic for today. Also, what would be very nice is to include some incentives that can be given from the country, and I honestly think that that's the next step that is coming, right? Because not everybody is fully aware of what sustainability is and what could happen if we do not tend to achieve that goal, right? And we are very close to the date that we have to take action, all of us, individuals, establishments, overall everyone together. So this is the incentive, and my idea is like incentive that, for example, country can give certain tax release. Not tax release, can be any kind of incentive, like a tax credits maybe, that can help those establishments that want to invest additionally in reducing the carbon emission, right, and then to increase the sustainability level. So instead of giving that certain amount of funds to the country government, they can use it to invest in the new technology, for example, right? So that it can help them to achieve the standard. And then also, what I would say is also important is the education and training. As I already mentioned earlier in this conversation, not everybody is aware what actually sustainability is. So if the country will give, or the department, like a Ministry of Tourism, right, gives to all the hospitality establishments a quick workshop or training seminar, right, about how they should use the reusable sources or emission to reduce the carbon emission, that would be amazing, because everybody will become aware of it, and then that will help a lot in achieving common targets.
Exactly. So that means we should just consider the standards so that we don't have to face any future problems.
Hope so.
Yeah, hope so. So, sir, what role do you think technology is playing in driving sustainability in hospitality industry?
So, considering that we live in a digital era, especially in the past decade, right, in the past 10 years, the development of technology is really I would say impeccable, right? Outstanding. So definitely technology can help even in supporting the development of sustainability. So what I would say, we can use a lot of instruments, a lot of equipment, or that you can install in hotels, in restaurants, and or other any hospitality establishment that can help reducing the carbon emission. Like for example, I would say the energy efficient systems, right? Maybe you heard already. It's like for example, smart thermostats. We are using it also, I believe, in this studio and everywhere else. That you have the thermostat that when it reaches desired temperature, it will switch off automatically, right? It will not just, for example, if you talk about air conditioning, it will not blow continuously, so it will stop at a certain level. Same works for heating, depending on which part of the world we are. So if there is a heating, if it reaches certain temperature, it will just turn off. So this is how we can actually reduce the use of energy, electricity, or whatever else we use, so it can reduce the emission of carbon dioxide. Next one can be the second largest, I would call it problem, right? That can help if we resolve that problem. It can help in sustainability is the waste generation, right? So waste generation becoming a huge problem because the planet is getting more and more populated and more wastage is happening. Everything. So what I would say for the waste reduction is that there is a nice. An amazing product that recently came out on the market are the smart bins, for example. So the huge bins that usually hotels, when they dispose, right, they will put in a huge bin and then the truck will come and pick them up, right? So those smart bins, actually the purpose of those are when they become full, right? So they will alarm staff members that all the bins are full, so the truck can come and dispose, right? If what usually happens in traditional ways that bins are half full, right? So the truck comes and dispose them, right? And again, half full truck comes and dispose them. So we increase the effect of carbon footprint, right? Because the truck as a transportation vehicle also affects the carbon emission. So this is something for waste, what I would say. Then also we have the third factor, which is water, right? So even now we have the water thermostats, like a smart irrigation systems that can do, for example, to reduce the use of water. You keep monitoring water from guest rooms or other common areas, how much of water kitchen is consumes, right? Is it more or it's just fine with acceptable levels? So we have smart irrigation systems, even the smart heads, right? Shower heads. I don't know if you heard of that. So there's a shower head, which is like a kind of a smart technology that can control water usage. So when the customer, the guest, is taking shower, for example, it just limits use of water, which is also a good one. So it doesn't have to go like over consumption. And then I would say the last one will be definitely the customer engagement, because we can plan all this, we can do this technology, but if the customer, guest, doesn't cooperate, then we are just making it halfway harder to achieve. So what I would say is that we again need to educate guests when they come to the hotel or any other hospitality venue to participate in sustainability activities. And also what is nice, I mean, like what I found in, especially in the airline industries as well, they have like a feedback forms, online feedback. I mean, it's also part of innovative technology to comment, right? What is feedback about how sustainable the place is, or maybe some ideas what we should do as a hospitality establishment to improve the sustainability level. That's the technology that I would like to be implemented.
So you mean like we should introduce more of modern technology that's more of environmental friendly, and this can all obviously happen with the cooperation of one another.
Definitely.
Yeah. So sir, what do you think are some of the key metrics or indicators that hospitality brands can use to trade or measure their sustainability performances?
So I would say we should definitely start from monitoring and calculating the emission of carbon dioxide. That's our common calculation to see if we are within the average ones, which is acceptable, and I would consider it understandable amount of producing carbon dioxide, right? Or we are just over it. When I say we, I mean like any hospitality establishment, right? That is that is a question here. So what I would say, how we calculate carbon emission, maybe if even the audience wants to know more about that. So this is the calculation of all the natural sources that you use, or just sources that you use to provide electricity, water, waste, transportation, so everything overall. So water usage, I would say monitoring consumption in guest rooms, how much of water guest customers use, and as I mentioned already, it doesn't have to be only the guest room, can be also in-house, like how much of water does hotel use even. Then waste management, again, what is the amount of waste produced on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, however they want to calculate. But not only waste produced, it's very important to see what is the percentage of wastage that went to recycling, which should be mostly major part, and then what is the part that goes to landfill, right? So the landfill accepts all waste materials, but some of them are non-recyclable, like plastic, for example. Not the recyclable plastic, but those ones that are hard plastic that cannot be degraded easily. Then also what I would consider is the measuring activities, like a sustainable sourcing, like products, material that products are made from. So if it's what is the amount of products that the hotel received or purchased that are made of from sustainable materials. And then also the last one, what I would say, is the social responsibility, right? So we need to see how our employees of hospitality establishments are engaged. Are they taking initiative as well to respect these rules, to contribute in achieving the high sustainability level, or they maybe try to engage with customers, with guests as well, to achieve these sustainability levels. It's very good to know, because the customer is the first one who will notice this, or especially customers that are aware of. So in the hospitality, I will take, because overall we speak about hotels, right? So let me tell from the restaurant, for example, aspect. Recently, a couple of years ago, when I used to work in the restaurants, so we decided to replace the plastic straws with paper ones, reusable ones. And then you can guess who was the first one to notice that? Customers, right? And then it raised the awareness, and then also gives a respect towards the hospitality establishment, and then just gives additional credits, benefits, right, for that.
Exactly.
So that's in general how they do metrics and counting, and then also we touch on topic about the outcome of it.
So these are the small things that we can do to help the environment, like the paper straws that you talked about. So, sir, what do you think? What are the strategies in hotel do HR and finance department have to ensure that the business sustains even during the off-peak time?
The off-peak time, definitely. What I would say here is that we are facing a huge challenge, right, as a hospitality industry during off-peak times when the season is very slow. I'll just take UAE as the example, United Arab Emirates. So the summertime here is a slow season, and then there's a lot of big points when it comes to it, because a lot of hospitality establishments have to survive. So what usually they do is to sustain, is to implement certain strategies that will help them sustain that summertime, or if you speak about any other countries, usually winter time, right? So I would say one of the best strategies that most of them are already implementing is a dynamic pricing, right? So dynamic pricing, so it's not a fixed pricing throughout the year. So the pricing varies from season to season. So if you are in the summertime, what all the hospitality establishments should do is to reduce pricing, so they can attract some customers, right? And then at least to fill those vacant rooms. At the end, what they say is better something than nothing, right? So it's always that way, and then they can go back to normal pricing when the season comes, or maybe they can even increase the pricing. What usually happens, right? So they can increase the pricing and then to recover the profit, to balance it. The next one can be our powerful promotion and marketing, right? So we live in a digital era, right? A lot of opportunities from social media advertising. So what they can do the great advertisements, right? They're offering packages like deals. Let's say hotels can say bundle, right, or combo. So you do accommodation, and you get the meals included in the package, and any creativity or whatever they have in the recreational activities or spa centers all together in one bundle, and then given a discounted price. So this will at least attract some customers to come. Maybe for you will not be profitable as in the season time because you might charge those separately. But if it's a summertime, let's better bundle all together and then gain certain profit. The next one can be the cost reduction. That, if you ask me, it should be done throughout the year, but still, especially accent should be on the slow season, because when I say cost reduction, I mean the cut of overhead costs like electricity, water, waste, etc., like power. So because this overhead cost should be reduced, set to a minimum, so you can at least save on some reduction. And then also what comes to overhead cost is also the employees, right? So what I would do, for example, and what actually is happening in the UE, and from my experience, is that you send most of the employees, you send on annual leave or vacation during summertime, right? So you that way you're going to keep them during the peak season time. So you will not have a need to hire part-timers, because part-timers, like our casual employees, are going to be additional cost for you. So that's how you can balance your cost also in terms of employees. And what else we can do is a diversification. So diversification means that you can rent out something, let's say rent out, or like a sell something that you don't usually sell. Like during summertime, if your employees are all on annual leaves, not all of them, but most of them, so probably some meetings and something will not, or something else, or some other activity will not be hosted within the hotel. So you can use those conference rooms, meeting rooms, you can do and rent them out, right? So you can do that diversification, or spa centers, or whatever else you have from amenities. So you can rent those out, you can gain certain profit, right? And then you can cut that off after it once the proper season comes. And what also I can add here is the supporting local citizens, right? And the residents as well. So because those are the ones that stay here, right? So those are the ones that stay here. So I would definitely go with supporting local citizens, giving those resident promotions and activities that they can, for example, purchase at the package, right? And then go and have a long weekend in some other part of the country, or staycation, exactly. So they can use still good quality prices for nice recreational activities, for example. And also maybe the last one, which I would say, and that's also very good, is the collaboration and partnership. So if I'm owning a resort, for example, like nice beach resorts here in Dubai, so I would definitely engage with some tourist attractions, like let's say with Burj Khalifa, or maybe with some water park, right? So I would say, okay, so this is going to be a package. So for this price, which will be probably discounted, you get an entrance to the top of Burj Khalifa. I'm just giving an example, and then plus you will get a stay of 2 nights with breakfast, right? So then you advertise Burj Khalifa, and Burj Khalifa will advertise you, or any other landmark, right? I'm just giving an example. So that can be, and then you attract a wider range of customers to come and to do that.
So these were some of the very good strategies and practices that we can actually bring into the hospitality and tourism industry. And from all of this discussion, I've concluded like sustainability initiatives is very important in the hospitality and tourism industry for us and for our future generation to be sustainable. So that was it for today. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have enjoyed learning and you have got some valuable knowledge from Mr. Peter. And it was a pleasure to have you, Mr. Peter, in the Campus Dialogue.
Thank you very much, Camilla. It was my pleasure also to be a part of this engaging conversation, and hope to see you in some future projects.
Yes. So we value your input, and we would love to know any of your questions and suggestions for our future episodes. Feel free to comment down below and we will make sure to address them. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for your weekly dose of Campus Dialogue. Thank you.